Good afternoon, good afternoon. This is Point of View, and I am Ms. Shirley Polk. I am so happy to be blessed to be alive and be here on the World Wide Web today. On You can find us on YouTube, find me and Point of View, and all my videos, my music, on my messages on YouTube, on Facebook, Twitch, X, Africa, that's AFREECATV, LinkedIn. You can find us on the World Wide Web, and I am just so happy to be able to say that. And you will see I have many videos. I have many podcasts. I have so much by the grace of God. I wasn't keeping track, had no idea that there was so much on here. But by the grace of God, that's what God does. He builds you. He builds you. If you have a desire to do the things that need to be done, do what's right, to help people, God will bless you and He will multiply your work. He definitely will do that. Dear God, as I sit before you to speak, I pray to you that my soul you will keep. And if I should die before I finish, I pray to you, dear God, in the name of Jesus, that any outstanding sins will be forgiven. Amen. Today we are on talking about the importance of friendship. The importance of friendship. And you know that people say, oh, that's my friend. But I believe, now this is my belief, that we use the word friend or friendship too fluidly. Too fluidly. We use it too much. And a friend is a person that's really close and true to you. True. And there's a scripture in the Bible that says, and so there's one that sticketh closer than a friend sticketh closer than a brother. So we're going to go, and I am live. I'm just not going to do the video today, so you see my avatar there. So just enjoy the webcast. Thank you so much. I am so thankful. The importance of friendship. We're going to psychology today and talk about the importance of friendship, and we're going to talk about why the best friendships feel eternal, and there will be one other that we will use also, but we're going to go to Psychology Today by Robert Puff, PhD, and he's going to talk to us through this article about the importance of friendship. Friendships are a crucial part of living a fulfilling life. And this was posted first in July the 26th in the year 2021, and it was reviewed by Ekua Hagen. And we've heard that name before. Key points to this particular article here about friendship by Dr. Robert Puff, or PhD Robert Puff, the importance of friendship. And we should all pay strict attention to this. And I would like to say, I hope that my webcast stays clear today on the end of Tuesday's webcast. Velma told me that she couldn't understand me, and I always go back and listen to my webcast, and I thank you, Velma, for bringing that to my attention, and it's still up, so I'm just going to leave it there and just let everybody know that the end, which was the end, it was just doing some promos there at the end, but the basic part of the webcast is clear and solid. So thank you so much, Velma. I certainly thank you for being here with me and watching out for me. Thank you so much. Friendships are a crucial part of living a fulfilling life. The key points here are: friendship makes life more enjoyable and enriches one's everyday experiences. The next, friendship can be challenging but can be often achieved by approaching others with mutual interests. The third bullet point here is the first criterion one should look for in a partner is someone who is ultimately a good friend to them. And we've heard of friendships turning into partnerships and marriages. We've heard of that, and they have worked out very well. Many of them have. So as we move through life, we find that there are many things out of our control. And we know that there are many things out of our control. We can't choose our parents, our genetics, or control the things that happen in the world around us. We just can't do it. Just can't do it. One thing that we can control is who our friends are. And this decision can either make our lives so much richer and beautiful or more stressful and disappointing. And I think we've been both both of those, haven't we? People have disappointed us and stressed us out. And we thought they were our friends, and hey, I hope we haven't done the same to other people. Okay, but hey, it's a possibility. But I think you should be true and genuine. And if you're going to say you're a person's friend, you should be a true friend. But that doesn't always work, does it? So let me go back to this. Choosing your friends. One thing in our control is who our friends are. And this decision can either make our lives so much richer and beautiful or more stressful and disappointing. Today, we'll focus on how to choose friends who enrich our lives and make them more beautiful. That's what we're going to do. We're going to stress this, okay? Now, why friends are so important. This is what we're going to talk about in this section. Why friends are so important. Having solid friendships is important for the two main reasons. First, they make life more enjoyable. First, they make life more enjoyable. We get to share the beautiful aspects of life with people who we love, which can enrich our everyday experiences. Second, our friendships help us through the difficult times. Having friends who support us through hard times can make unimaginably difficult situations seem more tolerable. Tolerable. Oh, yes, they can. Thank you so much for being with me. I appreciate you. The most beautiful part about pouring our time and energy into friendships is that not only do friends help enrich our lives, but we enrich their lives too. See, this is a two-way thing. Friendships get us through the tough times in life. They make things more fun and enjoyable and all around make our lives better. So the writer here he said, I urge you to take stock of your friendships and ask yourself if your current friends, people build you up and support you, or is the friendship more one sided? So take inventory here and ask yourself if your current friends slash people in your life that you call friends build you up and support you, or is the friendship more one sided? Think about it. So, as we explore friendships today, these are also inclusive of our partners. All right. I believe that the foundation for any healthy relationship is friendship. So it's important to group our romantic partners into this conversation too. And I believe that that is so, so true. I believe that that is so, so true. So, where do we find friends? This might sound silly, but finding friends can be challenging. So he said, when I first moved to California for my PhD, he said I didn't have any friends out there or out here presently where he was right then. There were quite a few people in my program that I enjoyed spending time with, but towards the end of school, they became very busy and were no longer able to dedicate time to hang out anymore. Thankfully, through the help of a very good therapist, I learned that it was important to enjoy life instead of striving for excellence all of the time. As a result, he said, I learned how important it was to carve out time in my life for friends. And some people were so busy, busy, busy. Oh, I would have gotten back with you, but I was so busy, I was so busy, I was so busy. Or then sometimes they say, well, you're so busy, you're so busy. But hey, we have to take time out and enjoy life. Enjoy with some friends. Unfortunately, the people, he says, I had dedicated time to thus far were achievement oriented and were pouring their time into work and not our friendships. So this forced me to seek out other ways to form connections with people. He said, I ended up finding a local hiking group with the hopes of meeting people with similar interests. During one of these hikes, he said, I met Jim, one of my best friends to this day. He met Jim. Okay, let's get on. He said, we became instant friends. We have continued to support each other over the years, and even more importantly, we always make time for one another. We both view the friendship as one that makes each other's lives better. Therefore, it's always worth the time and energy. Let's let this soak in. Let's let this soak in. The backbone of any successful friendship is one where both sides put in equal effort and support. Both Jim and I, he says, were forced to put in more effort when he moved across the country to the East Coast. Because we already had such a strong foundation, this didn't impact our friendship. We talk all of the time and see each other several times a year. We make the relationship a priority no matter what coast each other is on. Like anything in life that is valuable to us, we must work at it and put time and effort into it. We must do that. We have to do that. Work on it. Put time and energy into it. Next section, when it's time to move on from a friendship. Oh, here we go. When it's time to move on from a friendship. The second part of the friendship discussion can be a difficult one, reassessing your current friendships and potentially moving on from friends who don't add value to your life. Two of my best friends from high school, he says, went down different paths from me. We still keep in contact, but I don't spend too much time with them anymore. The supporting, loving part of our relationship wasn't there anymore, so it was no longer worth putting energy into maintaining a friendship that had changed so much. And we have to realize this. We have to realize that these relationships do change. Sometimes they diminish and sometimes they increase, okay? The friendship. Sometimes it dwindles away, sometimes it increases, it builds up. So this may be a story you can relate to. He said, what I hope to take away from this post, for you to take away from this post is this: friendships take energy, time, and commitment. And if you're putting your time and energy into someone who isn't enriching your life and giving you the support you need, it may be time to reevaluate that friendship. I guarantee you, it might be time to reevaluate that friendship. So, if you find yourself in the market for friends, now who isn't? Hey, I recommend you find groups or activities that you just genuinely enjoy. So this way, you'll have the opportunity to connect with people who have similar interests. And once you're there, take a risk. Talk to people, exchange contact information, and follow up with them. It may feel scary at first, but the reward outweighs the momentary uncomfortable feeling you may have. Oh, yes, it does. Now, this next section here is friendship and dating. Friendship and dating. And this can be a sticky situation too. Friendship and dating can be, but we have to be very careful, okay? So, in many ways, the most important friendship in our lives is the one we have with our romantic partners. The first criteria we should look for in this partner is someone who is ultimately a good friend to us, meaning that they are kind, positive, loving, and supportive. So if we're dating someone and they're a jerk, it's probably safe to assume that they're not a good friend. To avoid this, he tells us that he recommends seeking out someone who is a good friend first. For example, before the romance and sexual stuff gets in the way. All right? That's great advice. Great advice. So, when there are bumps in a friendship or a romantic relationship, it is important to work through those tough times. The tricky part is that it will take two people to fix that issue. It will take two people to fix that issue. We can only control our actions and hold ourselves accountable, but we cannot control our friend or our partner's reaction. No way, no how. You can be in love with the person, but if they don't love you, you cannot make them love you. I guarantee. Take it from me. Okay? Oh my God. We can only control our actions and hold ourselves accountable, but we cannot control our friend or uh, or our partner's reaction. In addition to our own actions, we have control over the friends or partners that we choose in the first place. Okay? In addition to our own actions, we have control over the friends or partners that we choose in the first place. If we prioritize choosing good people who we can trust will work through issues with us, then we can work through anything. Friendships are a crucial part of living a fulfilling life. It's so important that we surround ourselves with people who we have fun with, who support us, and people who make us better. Do we get that? It's so important, important that we surround ourselves with people who we have fun with, who support us, and people who make us better. You may already have beautiful friendships in your life, but if you're still in the market for friends, it's never too late to cultivate new friendships that will make your life even more magnificent. This is so good. This is really, 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 really good. And this Robert Puff, PhD, is host and producer of the Happiness Podcast. with over 16 million downloads. My goodness. So online, there's the Happiness Podcast, there's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. All right, we're going right on. That was a great piece. Great piece. Now we're going on to our next one. This is so good. The importance of friendship. All right. And this part, a part right here, I'm going to is a suggested part here. And I'm going to go right into it. It's a suggestion, and I've scanned through it, and I tell you, it is good. It is good, good. All right. So that was all right. The importance of close friendships. We are family. Family. They said family. Family. Then why the best friendships feel eternal. Why the best friendships feel eternal. And I will go to that. Why the best friendships feel eternal. If I can get my mouse to cooperate. This is by Susan Cross, and you might pronounce it Cross. Whiteboard, PhD, ABPP. This is Psychology Today. This piece was posted on June the 1st, 2024, so that was just a few days ago. And it was reviewed by Hera Estroff Morano. So we can go ahead and use these pieces. We can use these for ourselves. They have been looked over, read over, and approved. So why the best friendships feel eternal. Recent research shows the bonds that can keep friendships eternal. Recent research shows the bonds that can keep friendships eternal. The key points here, friendships develop through a variety of routes, many of them based on shared interests and activities. And of course, I use up that word because sometimes I say route, sometimes I say route, Routes. Okay, in the British pronunciation, they say root or roots. In the American pronunciation, we say route, or we could say either one. So I made sure that because sometimes I say one or the other, I'll say route or I'll say route. So today I'm going to say route, okay? Friendships develop through a variety of routes, many of them based on shared interests and activities. Second point, the special friendship marked by timeless moments has the potential to the, the deepest and most fulfilling. Next, by keeping your friendship active in your memory, you can sustain this special relationship indefinitely. Thank you for being with me today. Thank you. When you think about the person in your life you consider your best friend, what qualities stand out the most? Do you share similar personalities, tastes in music and movies, and general worldviews? Friendships in adulthood have the unique quality of being completely voluntary, not dictated by family ties or work. The bonds that keep the relationship going therefore reflect nothing other than your affection for this person. As much as you may feel emotionally close to your friend, however, the opportunities to get together may be more limited than you prefer. You may live on opposite sides of the country and hardly see each other due to the distance, or within blocks of each other, but have no free time to indulge your friendship. When you are together, though, something strange happens and time seems to stand still. It's as if you saw your friend only yesterday, even though it was months or years ago. And that is so true. It's just like your family members when you see family members, especially my cousin Dwayne and I. Dwayne and I would not see and sometimes speak to each other for years, but when we did speak with each other and see each other, it was just like we had just been with each other the day before. That's just how, because we're family and friends. So I could say that's family. Hey, family and friends. That was like that with Dwayne and me. Dwayne is going on into eternity now. He enjoys. Yes, I miss knowing that they're not here. I miss them. But God has His timing for every one of us. And even though they're not here, I still love them just like they are here. Time and friendships. According to the University of Helsinki's annual Bulletin 2023, what distinguishes friendships from other close relationships are the dimensions of reciprocity and equality. And I want to say this, Joyce, Dwayne's wife, the same with her. We were all close. We were threesome. We were very, very close. It was just like, and I want to make sure I put that in there because I love Joyce just like I love Dwayne. The expectation is that you each give and take to a comparable degree, at least on an average basis. So, what distinguishes friendships from other close relationships are the dimensions of reciprocity and equality. That's important. The expectation is that you each give and take to a comparable degree, at least on an average basis. Sometimes you help your friend, and when you're strapped, your friend helps you. Because you and your friend are peers, there isn't or shouldn't be a power differential that connects you with your friend, as would be the case with an older relative or supervisor at work. These dimensions are well established in the literature on friendships and certainly fit with most people's common sense views about such relationships versus those dictated by family or work. What may not be so widely recognized is the other dimension, that of time. As Luotanen argues, imagining and anticipating future trajectories shape our understandings of the present. Temporality, goes on to explain, is of major importance in how people make sense of lived friendships. Friendships have temporary, and that's on page 21 of his book or his article. Friendships have temporality in the sense that, along with their voluntary nature, they exist only as long as the people in the relationship feel satisfied and want to continue. To do so, both partners contribute the practice of intimacy that advances and maintains a high degree of closeness. They do so over the course of time as their knowledge about each other deepens and broadens. Oh, yes, friendship. Next section, shaking up the time continuum. This view of friendships as evolving over time relies on what is considered a linear view of time as occurring straight from the past through the present and into the future. In contrast, a cyclical, a cyclical, excuse me, in contrast, a cyclical view of time relies on the rhythms of life marked by such events as yearly gatherings and anniversaries. A cyclical view of time also incorporates the idea of memory, which allows you to travel backward in time, unencumbered by the calendar. In the process, you can also overcome the limitations of physical space. Friends can relive important moments together no matter how far apart they are. This background sets the stage for a larger set of questions that the Helsinki researcher explored in interviews of a sample of 16 married couples ages 26 to 41 years old. Participants reported on their activities such as getting together for parties or lending tools, as well as on the practices of intimacy or ways of building closer emotional bonds. There were three themes relevant to temporality that emerged from the interviews, summarized with number one, here and now. Spontaneous everyday practices, such as becoming friends with neighbors, helping each other with child care, and sharing meals. Number two, friendships in cyclical time, patterns defined by events that occur on a regular basis, such as birthdays and holidays. Three, friendship based on the past. In a series of timeless moments, friendships are based on childhood experiences or significant life transitions. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You can undoubtedly relate to the first two categories of friendships if you think about the friends in your life you've come to know as an adult. Those are the people you enjoy through common exposure to shared places and events. With those in group one, you might bump into them at the grocery store and decide to share a meal instead of cooking in your separate homes. Wow, wow. Those in group number two may be people you enjoy spending occasions with and even look forward to seeing when the date draws closer again. These can be people you've come to know well over time, but after the event, you more or less forget about them, other than perhaps sharing social media for a few days later. Okay? It is the timeless moment group that, according to Luotanen, carries with it unique opportunities for intimacy. As he observed, when interviewees made sense of friendships through a shared past, the importance of material and spatial dimensions seemed to fade. And that's on page 30 of his article. Now we go to this section, benefiting from your own timeless moments. Benefiting from your own timeless moments. To delve more into the captivating idea of the timeless moment, ask yourself whether you've ever had this feeling based on a quote from one of the participants. We never phone each other or anything like that. Every time we see each other, I have this strange sensation that we were never apart, even for a day. That's how close she has always been to me. And that same quote right there is on page 30 of his article. So this sensation is, as Luotanen suggests, and this is the article that I'm telling you about, page 30, okay? A trick of time whereby linear time is out of sync with inner experience. Joy and fulfillment occur as past and future are entangled in the way that friendships are lived in the present. That's on page 30 of his research, too. In this time warp, the calendar disappears, and all that exists is a shared intimacy with your friend. Reliving such moments through recollection further strengthens their meaning as they become cherished privately. That's page 32. Unlike friendships in which you compare notes on a daily basis, these deeper relationships can be cultivated merely by keeping your friend active in your memory. As you do so, your connection also deepens your own sense of identity. You feel more like yourself, the self that was partly defined by this transformative bond. What is particularly inspiring about the timeless moment type of friendship is that you don't have to worry or feel guilty about not staying in touch. And that is so true. It won't matter how many holiday cards or emails you write, because when you finally do come together, all of these practical forms of communication become irrelevant. To sum it up, your deepest friendships have become part of who you are, holding your personal history and molding your personal history. So when you are able to enter that timeless moment, both your relationship and your own identity will be strong. My goodness, this is so good. This is so good. And this is A. Luotonen. It could be Luotonen, but it's Luotonen, and it's A, the first initial of his name. It's temporalities of friendship, adults, friends, and adults, friends, in everyday family life and beyond. Okay, this is his piece here. Sociology 57.1. And so that's on this page, and this is Psychology Today. Psychology Today. I'm telling you, I have really enjoyed it. The Susan Cross is Susan Cross Whiteburn, or we might say Kraus, Krauss, PhD, is a professor emerita of psychological and brain sciences at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. Her latest book is The Search for Fulfillment. All right, so University of Massachusetts profile. She's on Facebook, she's on LinkedIn, she's on Twitter. That is super. Now let me go to the next one, talking about friendship. Friendship is very important. Friendship. Everybody needs a friend. Everybody needs somebody sometime. The importance of close friendships. We are family. We are family. We are family. Like that. This is Vanessa Lobu, PhD, and the baby scientist is what she has under her name. And this is Psychology Today also. The importance of close friendships. We are family. And this was July 17th, 2024, posted then, and it's reviewed by Labima. Labima. Having friends has long term health benefits, and that's a fact. That is a fact. Thank you so much for being with me today. We're talking about friends. Oh, yes. There are some points here, the key points here. Scientists think that friendships have some evolutionary benefits for humans and even non-human animals. And we know that. Next, close relationships help buffer the effects of stress on the body and the brain. The next point, friends are important for children's mental health and emotional development. Some of the best days of my life, she goes on to say. She starts out with it, and this is Vanessa Lobue, Lobue, capital L, lowercase o, capital B, and lowercase ue, PhD. All right. So she says to us, some of the best days of my life were spent when I was in my 20s, mostly because it was when I met a lot of my lifelong friends. Graduate school was a particularly pivotal, pivotal time. I was living in Charlottesville, Virginia, and I had just moved in with my boyfriend Nick for the first time. If that wasn't exciting enough, we moved into a house next door to one of my best friends and downstairs from one of my other besties. The 2 years I lived there were nothing short of magical. We were constantly surrounded by my favorite people, having dinner and drinks, and frequently laughing and dancing late into the night. A lot of time has passed since then, with a lot of life transitions. Nick and I got married, and we now have two, she says, kids. And many of you know I don't say kids, referring to children, human children, but I didn't write this, okay? And we now have two kids and live in New Jersey. She says, my Charlottesville besties have also found their life partners. One still lives in Virginia with her partner and son, and the other lives with her partner near D.C. We make sure to see each other 3 times a year, so often that our children sincerely believe they were cousins. She said, we fondly call each one of these trips family vacation because family seems like a better analogy for our relationship than friends. Do you have anybody in your life like that? Family is obviously very important, but family can be just as important, or in some cases, even more important if you don't have a lot of actual family around. But why are close friends so important? And why do we need them in the first place? Thank you for being here with me. And going to this section, there are many advantages to having friends. So many advantages that scientists have reasoned that friendships must have some evolutionary benefit for humans and even non-human animals. Although scientists don't like to use the word friend when they talk about non-human animals, there is evidence that some species of non-human animals do indeed have friends, and we know that. We know that our critters have friends. Yes, they do. First, any pet owner knows that animals like having, all right, mouse. Okay. First, any pet owner knows that animals like having playmates. She says, my 1 year old lab, Maple, loves to play more than anything. perhaps even more than eating, and she especially likes to play with other dogs that are most familiar to her. Play is quite common in many animal species, and in fact, there is evidence that playing with friends might help with brain development. Indeed, play is most prevalent among species with large brains, and the period where a species is most likely to play also happens to be the time when the largest amount of brain growth occurs. And that's according to Denworth in 2020. All right. See all this good research? Oh my goodness. I like it. I like it. I like it. Playing or interacting with social partners can not only has benefits for the brain, but it also seems to have benefits for the long-term health. Research has shown that baboons, for example, particularly female baboons, live in communities with other females with whom they have close bonds. Importantly, female baboons who often who have close social relationships with other females tend to have children who are healthier and live longer than baboons who don't have these close female friends. And this came from Silk and colleagues in 2009. And this doesn't just, it's not just true of baboons. Many other animals live and migrate with close social companions, including elephants, whales, hyenas, and dolphins. And this is according to Denworth in a 2020 study. And again, although some scientists are hesitant to call these friends are non related companions with whom these animals have a long term positive and cooperative relationship. What more could you want in a friend? Next section, besides the benefits of reproduction. Besides the benefit of reproduction. Research also shows that close relationships help buffer the effects of stress on the body and the brain. When an adult is holding their romantic partner's hand, they have a lower stress response in their brains when anticipating an unpleasant electric shock. The happier the couple said they were in their relationships, the more the partner's hand lessened the brain's response to the shock. And that's Cohen, Schaefer, and Davidson research in 2006. So hearing a best friend or having a best friend seems to do the same thing starting in adolescence. For example, one study found that according to 11 and 12-year-old children's reports of their negative experiences, stress responses were lower during an unpleasant event when their best friends were present. And that's the Adams and colleagues researchers in 2011. That is neat. I like this. Altogether, this work suggests that having friends around can be important for the body, it can be important for the brain, and overall long term health. Research has even shown that not having friends or being socially isolated can lead to a 26 to 32% increase in risk for premature death. And that's a Holt, Lundstad, and colleagues uh, research, which was in 2015. They released that. So, according to some reports, loneliness leads to the same risk of premature death as obesity and smoking. So, that's Holt and Lundstad and colleagues in 2015 again. So, these days, she says, when I'm watching my children play with their friends, I'm just going to say children, okay? It's immediately obvious how important these relationships are to them. Although some children and some childhood friendships are transient, that does not diminish their importance for children's mental health and emotional development. And friendships remain important throughout life. And we all know that this is a fact. Friendships remain important throughout life. Research has shown that early in adulthood, research has shown that early in adulthood, often spouses become the most important social friendship in our lives. But as adults age, while this remains true for men, women, and more likely to maintain, uh, listen, let me slow down here. But as adults age, while this remains true for men, women are more likely to maintain their friendships and build new ones over time. And this is determined by Keycote, Glazer, and Newton, and that's a 2001 study. And she goes on to say, my husband is still quite important to me, but relationships with my friends have become more and more important as I've gotten older. The older you get, the more complicated your life gets. At least it has for her, she says. So it helps to have people around to talk to have fun with, and to share common experiences. Although this seems intuitive, the science agrees. Friendships make you happy, and the more friends you have, the happier you tend to be. And that's a Denver 2020 study. As the song goes, make new friends and keep the old. Your happiness may depend on it. Wow. Oh, that's the end of that article. That's the end of that article. And this, she has the references here where she got the material and everything. And I did call those names and I did give the information. Vanessa Lobu, PhD, is a professor of psychology at Rutgers University, New York. Right? And online, you can find her as the baby scientist, and then you can find her on Facebook and on Twitter. So I think and I believe we made good timing here. I am so happy, as I say, and I continue to say it, that you are with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. And I appreciate all of you for watching, and my numbers are going up, 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 up. And I am just so grateful for that. And I thank you for sharing. Thank you, Velma, my friend. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you all who share this because you know, and I know that somebody somewhere in this world needs this information. Somebody else needs it besides us. Thank you so much. This is Thursday. Oh my goodness. So tomorrow, God willing, the Mother's Board Inc. will be on live at 1 p.m. I love you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are awesome. You are wonderful, and you are greatly appreciated for being here with me. Oh, thank you so much. This is Point of View, and I am Miss Shirley Polk signing off. And I want to ask you and remind you to go and listen to my music. And please just get it and put it in your music collection so that you can have it wherever, on computers, your phones, wherever you go, and you can listen to me wherever you are. You will enjoy it. And even these videos and my podcast of all of this. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Enjoy the remainder of your day. And I would like to say, when we were coming up, we would say aim instead of aunt. And so Aunt, I'm going to say it, Arma Jean Rhodes Riddick is going to be funeralized on Saturday morning in Denison, Texas, at the Trinity Lighthouse Church. And I'm saying to all of the family, David, Lester, Audrey, Mike, Terry, Junior, and I think that's everybody. To all of the children, the grandchildren, and all of the family, you have my condolences, and I am praying for and with you, and I love you so much, so much.